Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in today. So this video is a video that I plan to record anyway, but Will in the comments on a previous video asked if I could do it, and of course it's all kind of come together. So this is why this video is now being released. And I want to just mention, I am an amateur runner. I'm learning huge amounts as I go. I'm making mistakes, I'm learning from them. And so please, what I would say is, do feel like you can leave a comment below. I'm not precious about what I'm about to say to you. I'm looking for advice. I'm looking for feedback. This is my first attempt at a ultra marathon distance. I had planned, as you know, to do 50k. That event was cancelled for whatever reason, which I still haven't worked out. So instead I've gone for a 60k. The reason being is because it is local to me and it gives me an opportunity to get out on the trail and get a feel for what it's going to be like. My reason for doing this is it's a personal challenge. I've really started to enjoy the trails the more I've explored them, and I think it'll just be good fun. I'm not going for a time, I'm going for a finish. I want to beat the cutoff, which I think is 10 hours for this event, but I'm just going to finish it and to give myself a little sense of what the future might hold. You know, I'm still trying to find the distance that feels right for me. I like a 10k. One of my favourite distances when I was training was 20 miles. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of on the edge of, you were pushing and pushing and pushing, and there was that little moment where you started to, question if you're going to make it. And then when you pushed through it, it just felt really good. So 20 miles was something that I really enjoyed doing. Anyway, with that said, let me talk to you about what my plan is at the moment. It's just in draft format, which is why I'd like some feedback and some tips and some advice would be most welcome. There's a siren. That's never a good sign, is it? My ultramarathon is at the end of April, so I've got more or less 6 months or so. My plan is that between now, which is November, and the end of December really, so over the next 2 months, I'm going to be completing my physio exercises every day regardless. That's going to be kind of a staple. That's my foundation, and I feel like it's really, really benefiting me. I'll also continue to work on my running form, because those two things together I think are going to allow me to go the distance without fatiguing as quickly, and I would also hope that it will reduce the possibility of injury. So for the next 2 months, what I'm going to do, given the weather is going to be probably intermittent and pretty awful, is spend my time just exploring different parts of the route. So I will be getting on train on the weekends, it will have to be now, and I'll be going to either walk or to jog, or when I'm comfortable to run the different links. So the route itself is entitled the Fox Way. It's been created in separate links. Those links just kind of join together to create the entire route. You can do it as a long walk, and there are particular rest points. So as it stands, I've explored the second half of link 6, the first half of link 7, and I've mapped out link 5. Tomorrow I'm going to be catching a train to explore link 5. I'm going to run it 5 into 6, stopping at the halfway point, which is near to my home. So after tomorrow I should have explored 5, 6, and it will be half of 7, although I do know what the second half of 7 looks like because I've run it before on a different race. So for the sake of argument, 5, 6 and 7 will be explored by the end of tomorrow. And that's what I'm going to be doing up until Christmas time, doing that. Throughout the weekend, I've been doing, keeping kind of my base running going, 5Ks, 10Ks, and no further than half marathon distance for my long runs. And now that distance could actually be split between some running, some jogging, just taking it easy, but be really enjoying being out there is the main goal. So that's what I'm looking to do. And then as we move into 2020, I'm going to start then to have a routine in place of what the week should look like. So I'll have a kind of a rest yoga stretch day on the Monday, an easy type run of 60 minutes roughly, and that's a timed 60 minutes on the Tuesday. Hills on Wednesday. I've not kind of figured out what I want that to look like, whether that should be in terms of reps or in terms of a route that incorporates hills. So I'm a bit of a grey area there, open to advice and feedback. Thursday, I'm looking to run between an hour and 15 minutes. at more of a marathon pace. So if we take easy pace to be around, 6:05, 6:10, 6:15, marathon pace is probably going to be around 5:30, something like that, for that sort of time limit, an hour to hour and 15 minutes. A rest day on the Friday, but actually there's going to be more maybe of a strength and conditioning type rest day. And then on the Saturday will be my long run, which will be on the trails. I want to do all my long runs on the trails, or at the very least going to be kind of along the riverside, that sort of ground, that sort of environment. So I don't want it to be on pavement unless the weather is particularly awful and it actually proves to be safer to be on the road for whatever reason. And then what I'm going to be doing is doubling up. So then on the Sunday, I'll be doing more of an easy-based long run for an hour. So it's going to look like the Sundays will always incorporate a 1 hour easy long run, with the Saturdays being the trail-based run, if you like, which begins at around about 16k and then moves up to 16, 18, 21, 24, 26, 32. So I'm just scrolling as I'm talking. Drop down to 28 again, 36, 28, 40, 28, 44. There's kind of back and forth. And then like a 16-ish in the lead up to race weekend. Now, I don't really know. There's so many different plans online. I've tried to put something together which I felt right about. For me, some plans ask you to take part in a competitive race, such as a half marathon, which I could do. There's one around March that I could take part in. There are quite a few actually around March. So there's that option there. I don't really know whether I should be focusing specifically on distance or time on feet. You know, I'm a little bit up in the air, but I felt like if I progress my long runs on the Saturday, moving up towards about 44k, something like that, that should put me in a pretty good position in terms of base. I'm not going to be going all out for speed at the ultramarathon anyway. I don't want to be trying to aim for marathon pace. I'd rather keep a sort of consistent, easy paced, 6:05, 6:10, 6:15 throughout. That would be really nice for me, a really manageable pace. The other reason why I'm exploring these routes is so that I know what to expect. If I know it's a very hilly section, I've got to anticipate that in advance. If I know there's a section which is kind of like net flat or downhill, that's really good. I just want to build up that understanding of the route itself in a whole so that I can start to think about where pacing is going to be naturally quicker, where I'll have to make sure that I'm slower. And so it looks something like that. Typical, I suppose, in relation to a normal marathon training plan, follows a similar format. Your runs throughout the week. But like I say, if I just quickly recap again, any comments, please pop them down below in the comments section. That'd be really helpful for me. So a Monday, rest, yoga type day, stretching day. Easy run on the Tuesday for 60 minutes. Hills, something to do with hills on a Wednesday. Thursday, a marathon paced effort between an hour and hour and 15 minutes. Friday, with the lead up to a longer session on the weekend. So Friday is going to be a rest day as well. Maybe some strength and conditioning type exercises there. Maybe another yoga session. And then a marathon paced, that's complete rubbish there. A long run trail effort on the Saturday, which gets increasingly longer in terms of distance, but it could be time. Again, feedback really much appreciated there. And then on the Sunday, I'd like to always put in a 1 hour easy run, which I think makes some sense. So kind of back-to-backing my runs rather than trying to go out and do a really mammoth run, which I know that I'm not in a position to do, certainly immediately. How does that sound? Does that sound okay? Does that sound like I've missed something out there? And like I say, for the next 2 months, it's just going to be exploring the routes, up to half marathon distance at the weekends, but just having a good time. This is all about having fun. I don't want to put any pressure on myself. I felt like my first marathon was the natural pressure because it was my first. I just wanted to finish it, and I did feel like I really wanted to do well for myself, and I was really pleased with what I did. Second marathon, the most amazing training block. Everything went absolutely perfectly. I was in the most amazing shape of my life. Mentally, physically, I was absolutely solid. Felt a little bit disheartened with my result, and given the conditions on the day, hey, I've watched so many videos recently of people who've been doing these Frankfurt, the Berlin marathons who are in phenomenal shape, and the day just hasn't gone right. The marathon is a tricky one. It really is. If everything goes well for you on the day, you will get the result. If anything is slightly off, your result is going to be hindered one way or other. But this training block, I just want to be getting out in the fresh air, just having a good time, just getting some headspace, starting to explore the routes around me that I can start to utilise further down the line in the future, rather than just running in a circle around where I live. And this is just going to be the best time ever. I'm going to love the training block. I know I'm going to just have a lot of fun with it. And 60k is a massive distance. They say it's going to be about 38 miles. The route itself is 39 miles, and we can expect there's going to be some kind of fluctuation there. So let's just call it, for the sake of argument, 40. Let's go 40 miles. I'm just here to have a good time, here to have fun, here to enjoy it, which I've probably said a number of times now in this video. That's roughly how it looks. Feedback most appreciated. I'm an amateur runner, giving this a go for the first time. So hopefully I'll be able to chat to you a little bit more in the comments. Like I said, it's just a draft plan. I'm putting something together just to oil the wheels. I like to get something down on paper so I can start to tweak it. And each week will look different depending on what my work commitments are. But basically what I've just said there is hopefully how it should all translate into a successful ultramarathon training block. Thanks in advance for your support and for your feedback, and I'll see you soon.